Hi, welcome to 3minutedaily.com. I'm Rob Bob. Wednesday, February the 6th, 2013, there was a rally held in Annapolis, Maryland in opposition to Senate Bill 281. The Maryland Senate put this bill forward at the bequest of the governor, Martin O'Malley, and it's titled the Firearms Safety Act. The turnout was astounding. I think that there are a lot of patriots in this state and across the country that have realized that if we are going to do anything about the eroding of our rights, not just our Second Amendment rights, because without our Second Amendment rights, we have no rights. So this is where it starts. People are waking up and they realize this is the front line of defense. This is where we have to make our stand. They are trying to incrementally erode every single right we have. It's about gun control. It is not about safety. So take a look. I took some video and some pictures of the rally, and then I'll talk to you after that. Thanks. What's your name?
My name's Aaron Jones.
And what do you do?
Legislative aide for Delegate Justin Reed.
Okay, and we're here for SB281 this morning. Are you expecting a big crowd?
Absolutely.
How many do you anticipate?
I would be surprised if we didn't get less than 1,000 people today.
And has there been a write-in campaign?
Absolutely.
And how many letters have you received so far?
Emails in total, we've gotten in my office about 6,000 emails, only 20 of them in support and the rest of them in opposition. It's about a total of 3,000 constituents contacted us total.
And how long do you think we'll be here today?
I would be also surprised if this didn't go at least until midnight today.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Their lives are no more important than yours or ours. They have protection. The governor has state police protection. The president has Secret Service protection. Why are their lives any more important than yours or mine?
They're not!
That's right, they're not. The most secure places in the world, the prison. The government runs the prison 24/7, but yet they cannot stop drugs, murder, rape in prison. There's no liberty there.
Because they got no guns!
They cannot protect you. It is your responsibility to protect yourself.
Hello, Maryland residents, Second Amendment supporters, law-abiding citizens. Welcome to Annapolis on this beautiful day. It's a great day to defend liberty. I'd like to take an opportunity to recognize the lawmakers that are here, that are present. Some of them are going to be coming up to speak to you. They're all steadfast Second Amendment supporters. We need to keep these guys here, and we need to give them some more allies in 2 years. Okay, so we've got, I'm just going to go from who I can see here. We've got Delegate O'Donnell, House Minority Leader. We've got Delegate McDermott. We've got Delegate Norman. We have Delegate Mike Smeagol. We have Delegate Kathy Vitale. We have Senator Nancy Jacobs. We have Delegate Jeannie Hadaway. Delegate Donna Stifler. Delegate Steve Hershey. Delegate Justin Reedy. Delegate Jay Jacobs. Delegate Nancy Stocksdale. Delegate Kathy Shalega. Delegate Kathy Afzali. Delegate Gail Bates. Delegate Ron George. Oh, Delegate Otto. Okay, so I'm here. I am employed by the NRA, but I work for you. And we're going to be doing everything we can to defeat this legislation that infringes on your Second Amendment rights. We know that it's a fundamental right. And we know that law-abiding citizens are going to be the only ones affected by this bill because criminals don't follow laws. So I'm going to turn the microphone over to some of our lawmakers right now. You're going to hear from them. You're going to hear about the fight that they're taking it in the committees, on the floor, and all the work that they're doing for you. We're going to hear from some citizens today. They've got some pretty compelling stories. They're just like you. And then we're going to head over to the hearing, and we're going to pack it in.
I'm Delegate Michael Smeagol. When I joined the United States Marine Corps, I swore an oath to uphold this Constitution. Senate Bill 281 and House Bill 294, under the guise of keeping us safe, are only an attack on your Second Amendment rights. That's right. Nothing in the governor's bill will affect the criminals. It will only affect you, the law-abiding citizens who are trying to exercise your constitutional rights. They talk about a magazine capacity, and they say, we want you, you don't have a need for anything more than 10. Well, government is not there to determine our needs, it is there to serve our needs. The police, when I asked the police, are you going to go down to 10? No. Why aren't you? Because the bad guys are going to have more than 10 rounds. That's right. So I asked, if the bad guys are going to have more than 10 rounds, and the police are going to have more than 10 rounds, why is it the law-abiding citizen trying to protect their family has to have less than 10 rounds? It makes no sense.
A few moments ago, I was talking to a few reporters down here in the well of this memorial, and something happened that was a moment I just want to tell you about on this birthday of the 40th President of the United States. And it was an American bald eagle flew overhead. Now, I don't know about you, but I believe that there was divine intervention at the founding of this great nation. And that was a sign to us, I believe, that we're doing the right thing, we're on the right track in protecting freedom. See, let me tell you something that the founders knew when they put together and struggled to craft that Constitution. They didn't put a Second Amendment in it to give us a right. That Second Amendment is not there to give us a right. It doesn't give us a right. What it does is it precludes the government from taking away a right we ever had. We always had.
I've been shooting ever since I was 8 years old. I've grown up with guns all my life. This is what I've been doing. Ever since I was 11 years old, I started competing with AR-15s under the Barrel Rifle Club. According to the NRA, I shoot expert scores. I personally disagree with gun control and all the legislation for many reasons. One being that because I'm a young shooter, I plan on attending college. There are many colleges that offer scholarships. The NRA offers scholarships for shooting. If this bill passes, I won't be eligible for any of them. This is infringing on my educational opportunities.
No, don't be saying that. I'm extremely close to law enforcement. I've been honored by the Maryland State FOP on a number of occasions as Legislator of the Year because I deeply, deeply appreciate the risks and sacrifices of Maryland's law enforcement personnel. County, state, municipal, bi-county, whomever. Now be ready for this. I just got off the phone with the president of the Maryland State FOP, that is the Mother Lodge, representing over 22,000 active and retired law enforcement officers in this state. They are submitting a letter of opposition to the gun bill.
It was a great turnout. The media even tried to underreport it. They tried to say there was hundreds of people there. I can tell you personally, there was at least 1,200, if not 2,000 people that showed up. And if you count all the people that cycled through, in and out all day long, I'm going to say 3,000 people showed up. Quite a turnout. So, SB281 here in Maryland, I have to ask, what is the motivation for this bill? What is the causality? They named it the Safety Act, and Maryland Senate Bill 281, I've read it 3 times. I don't read anything that makes me feel safer, and I certainly read many things that make me feel less safe if this were to pass. In my opinion, this bill is against the Second Amendment in fact and in spirit. I don't know if they're trying to deter future crimes, but this bill will do no such thing. The intent of this bill is to suppress and criminalize the common use of firearms, including guns not defined as assault weapons. The goal here seems to be total control and subjugation of Maryland citizens. You know, gun laws traditionally have bred massive levels of non-compliance, even in places where you might think people have no strong history of personal arms or of resistance to the state. When Germany imposed gun registration in 1972, the country's officials managed to get paperwork on all of 3.2 million firearms out of an estimated 17 to 20 million. Californians may have registered as many as 10% of assault weapons they owned when that state imposed registration in 1990. The reason for that reluctance isn't really that hard to imagine. When gun owners charge that politicians can't be trusted to resist using registration lists for future confiscation, they're not being paranoid. New York City and California have done just that. If firearm owners defy the law that Maryland wants to pass here, they will send law enforcement officers to enforce those laws. In many instances, those firearm owners will resist, and in some cases, those firearm owners will be killed by law enforcement. How many Maryland or even American firearm owners is Maryland or the government of the United States willing to kill? Our elected servants here in Maryland have failed us by even considering this bill. I only see posturing. They are taking the lazy man's way out. They abandon creative thinking and they legislate to the lowest common denominator instead of addressing real societal problems such as mental health, violence in the media, and medicating our society with mood-altering pharmaceuticals with side effects. We expect more and we deserve more. They are not addressing the real problems, and if they looked in their hearts, they would agree. So I ask Martin O'Malley, Governor of Maryland, state Democratic senators and House members, please stop festering an abusive relationship with Maryland citizens by treating law-abiding gun owners as the enemy. We just want to be left alone, as all good citizens are. There seems to be a real disconnect between Maryland politicians and the public, and this bill only proves that the gulf is getting bigger. Again, I ask, what is the motivation of this bill? It can't possibly be about mass shootings, as they tried to claim all day long yesterday, and it can't be about to protect lives. Because if we were to politicize and prioritize issues based on lives lost, we would not even have had to show up in Annapolis yesterday because our leaders would have been too busy working on more relevant matters. This bill is a total disgrace, in my opinion. Thanks a million for watching. This is 3minutedaily.com. I'm Rob Bob. I'll see you next time.